meeting to order on Monday, March 1st, 2021 at 5:02 p.m. This is the Acushnet Board of Health, and I'm Dave DeVignan, current chairman. Mr. Fortin is with us. Mr. Medeiros is out due to a death in the family. My condolences go out to Mr. Medeiros. Our agent, Joe Career, is with us. Our secretary, Wanda Hammer, is with us. Obviously, this is being audio and videotaped. So is there a motion to open the hearing?
Motion to open?
I'll second the motion. All in favor, roll call vote, Mr. Fortin.
Yes.
And I am a yes. We are now in open session. First on the agenda, we have a continued public hearing for a septic system repair. The location is 48 Gammons Road, and it is for the upgrade of a septic system, an existing septic system. There are issues relative to setbacks to a well on the property and as well as the property across the street. My understanding is that we are still waiting a well water test for the abutter across the street who has consented to that. But there have been difficulties in trying to get that well water test scheduled. I guess it's been tested, but now we're waiting for the results. So we need to continue that public hearing to a date specific time. And I'm suggesting 2 weeks from this evening because Monday's worked for the direct abutter to March 15th at 5 p.m. If that sounds good to you.
That sounds, yeah. I'll make that motion.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to continue this public hearing to March 15th, 5 p.m. I will second the motion. Roll call vote, Mr. Fortin.
Yes.
And I am a yes. Votes unanimous. Joe, please notify the engineer representing the property owner and the abutters across the street of the date and time. And hopefully we can have a good test result from the water analysis and move on with it.
Will do.
Our next bullet item on the agenda is draft Board of Health soil removal regulation. Given that we are missing a member, this is a critical regulation for the town moving forward. It's something new. We don't really historically act on anything without a full board when it comes to creating new regulations. So I would like a motion to table the matter until the next meeting.
I'll make that motion to table.
Okay, I will second the motion. All in favor, roll call vote. Mr. Fortin?
Yes.
I am a yes. The vote carries 2-0 to continue to Monday, March 15th at 5 p.m. Next on the agenda items, vaccine clinic. I'll turn to Joe for that.
Yeah, just to inform everyone, the public and yourselves, as we continue on, we're on the doorstep of opening up the clinic, and that's when the governor pulled the rug right out from underneath us and said that they would not be issuing any more vaccine to the local health department, except for 20 major cities, 20 big cities throughout the Commonwealth, and they would be able to get it. The long and the short of it is we've contacted Senator Montigny about this. The selectmen have been active, you have been active, I've been active, the Chief Gallagher's been active in trying to reach out. This is the same thing that's been going on in Fairhaven because we've been working with Fairhaven to move forward on this. And we're just trying to see if we can get the vaccine into town, especially so we can get the most vulnerable populations vaccinated. Until then, I'm just going to keep fighting the fight to get it in. Right now, we are at a standstill.
Okay. Tom, you have anything to add?
No, we'll just have to wait. That's the only thing we can do. And you've seen it go through the state like this, so we're all in the same boat.
The mass vaccination sites are still open. They're starting to free up the Circuit City. Still a problem. I hear that you got to be on the website at 8 o'clock on Thursday morning. That's when they figure out how much vaccine they're going to get from the state, and they open up the reservations for that vaccine. Usually you can book it about a week or two out. But it is important to be on the Massachusetts vaccination website portal, according to what they said early on, 8 o'clock on Thursday mornings is your best chance.
Yeah.
Joe, question for you. If there are seniors out there who have trouble following these, extensive guidelines on how to get the vaccine, can they just simply call the office for help?
They can call the office for help. Yes, we'll certainly help them. Also, the Council on Aging, Heather Sylvia over there, is taking a list of what she can do to help out the seniors, and also 211, which is the state's hotline, if you will, for people that have, potential issues with either having computers or being able to log on a computer. They will ask you questions, but if they've determined that you need to have that appointment set up, they will schedule it for you.
Okay, good to know. Anybody out there needs help, please call Joe at the Board of Health. We're there to help folks and the residents get what they need. Okay, with that being said, the last item on the agenda, tobacco sale regulations. These are, my understanding, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, these are basically state regulations that there's standard language we're supposed to implement into our regulations so that we're current with them. And then there are suggestions within our packet, whether we want to or not adopt things that are within it. I don't know if you did it or somebody else did it, but they highlighted the changes or suggestions. Some of them are given that we have to implement, right? Just certain language within our regulations to comply with the state. I think is that the yellow or the green?
It was a yellow.
The yellow?
I
Okay.
don't have it right in front of me.
Okay, that's okay, because the green was suggestions on things that we could implement. Obviously, I want a full board for this to even start the discussion. But I will go on record and say that most of their suggestions I'm not in favor of. I think having the standard state regulations is fine by me, and some of these suggestions in here are really tough to swallow. The fines that the state have versus the local, I think, are outrageous myself.
I agree.
There are things in there. I know that there's some misinformation out there in the general public. I know for a fact that somebody reached out to another fellow board member and asked why I was attempting to limit the number of licenses in town for selling tobacco, and that is nothing. There's no truth to that whatsoever. I've never indicated that to anybody, and I'm not in favor of any limitation on licenses for tobacco vendors in the town of Acushnet. So I hope that statement puts it to rest that I'm not in favor. I'm only one board member. I'm not 1/3 of the vote.
I totally agree with you, Dave, that we've never done that in the history that I've been on this board for 30 years. I mean, we don't limit things unless there's an issue, with a vendor or somebody. That's the only time that we would ever, either pull a license or whatever. But as far as permitting and, in new businesses or whatever, there's no way that we would ever do that. So I'm totally in agreement with you. And I'm sure Mr. Maderas would be on board with us with that. I'm not speaking for him, but I know with working with him all these years, he's been very fair about things like that. So no, our board would never do that. I don't think any department is in favor of doing those things.
And just in general, looking down this checklist on page 1, it's open to the general public. They can ask for it. Board of Health will supply it to them. You know, a lot of these suggestions, ban this, ban that, ban this, ban that, anything that's banned by the state obviously is automatically implemented into our regulations because it's banned by the state. Anything that's not banned by the state, I'm not in favor of that either. I mean, this is, free country, free enterprise. And if the state doesn't ban it, I don't see us going beyond state regulations. Because I don't know of any issues in town, relative to the youth or in general, the sale of tobacco in the town. So unless something comes up, I don't see my mind changing on most of what I see listed here. And that was from my position from the beginning. So
I'm in agreement with that. And the other thing is what the state fines are. That's ridiculous. You put a lot of business if you can't do that. I agree on following through with what we have as far as the finding goes when there are issues, and trying to be fair with everybody, and people do make mistakes, and we have to kind of follow through. I would like to keep the fine thing down at the minimum is what it is within our regulation right now. And I agree, there's a lot of things in there that I still have to review, and we still have to make those decisions with a full board. So there's going to be a little bit of work before we make a final decision. I hope everybody's in agreement with that. Board members are in agreement with, really kind of studying this and taking a little bit of time to make that final decision. I know we have to do it, but we will. It's not top priority at this point.
that's correct. I mean, we have to just follow through with some of the language to match up with the state regulations, but we don't have to rush it either. But just want to put it out there that I don't see my mind changing on what I'm saying tonight on any meeting in the future. So I wanted to put it to bed so that whoever's worried about it in the general public, whether it's one person or 5 people or 10 people, it's not happening. We're not restricting any number of licenses being issued for tobacco. So with that, Joe, do you have anything else you want to discuss tonight?
I do not.
Okay. With that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion. Roll call vote. Mr. Forden?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Votes 2-0 to adjourn. We are now adjourned. Thank you. Good evening.
Thanks.